Okay, a very good afternoon to all our ERA teammates. This event, or rather this webinar, is specially organized for you guys to understand a little bit more about our digital tools that we have right here at ERA Singapore. Yeah? So many of you will know that there are so many tools out there, right? So what is good, what is can be improved. So we have so many tools. Which one will help you generate leads? Which one will help you present yourself, brand yourself as a competent as well as a trusted advisor in front of your respective clients, isn't it? So this is what every one of us aspire to be, right? To be really techy, to be really good, but not all of us are really that geared towards using technology. So that's why I thought that it would be a good idea to start a series of digital talks. If you guys have attended my last session, I ran it together with Richard Ng, one of our leaders here, to talk about using our iERA tool, okay, to generate leads for our teammates itself. Today, we are still touching on the iERA tool, but specifically today, we're going to talk about RoboAdvisor. All right, this particular function within our app itself. All of you have this app, by the way, all our ERA teammates. If you have not downloaded this app, I don't know what happened. You should be doing your downloads. All right, if you have not, please go to the App Store, whether it's your Google Play or your iPhone App Store, go and download the iERA app itself. And we have recently done an update to it. So there'll be more exciting features as you go along together with ERA. We are improving the app all the time to make it, number one, very easy to use. Number two, very efficient for you guys to get in touch with your clients as well as generate leads for yourself using technology. So that's what it is all about. So today we welcome Jimmy. Jimmy, say hi to our teammates.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Hi, this is Jimmy here. So welcome and thanks for your time for attending this. So as Thomas had mentioned, we are going to share one of a very nice function. In fact, a very important function for all our teammates here, the iERA RoboAdvisor. Yeah, so I believe all you guys can hear me, right? So can I have some feedback on the chat group? You can hear us loud and clear, and you're so excited for us to start. Maybe you just say a hi in the chat group so that we can see the response and we can feel, we are so excited. I'm not sure over at the site, so we just need. Wow, I see a lot of soft. I saw a word soft. Okay. So probably.
No worries. You just go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah. Okay. So today we're going to share. So Thomas, you're gonna start. Or...
Yeah. Okay. So what happened is with this RoboAdvisor, we realized that there are so many things out there. Which one will really help our teammates in terms of reaching out to the clients, in terms of making life a little bit more difficult, a little bit more not difficult, a little bit more easy to deal with when we are out there dealing with our respective clients. And you must also recognize and understand, okay, if all of you can agree with me, the next statement that I'm saying, you can type in number one. If you can agree with me, you type in number one. So the statement is this: our clients have become more tech savvy. Do you agree? Agree, type one.
Yeah, agree.
Don't agree, type two. Our clients have become more tech savvy. Therefore, if your clients are tech savvy, means what? They are out there reading a lot on the internet itself, right? They are capturing a lot of information on the internet itself. So they will also read about property transaction. They will also read about what's the trends out there. So from an agent perspective, it's no longer enough that we are good with our market knowledge, how much your property is worth. Okay, it's no longer good enough. We will need to have a lot of things at our fingertips so that whatever our client knows, don't you think it's equally important that the agent knows better, that the agent knows more? Then there's a gap between your knowledge and your client's knowledge. Then we can talk about you charging a commission for it, right? For your service rendered. Do you agree? If you agree, number two, that you need to know more than your clients. If you agree, please click number two so that I know that you agree that we need to be more well-versed compared to our respective client. That's what a professional should be doing, right? Exactly. So that's basically how it works. That's why we are trying to equip right now all our teammates with what our technological tools can provide, can do for you, okay, and make life very easy for you so that your clients don't have this, you have this, you are actually providing what we call a gap, and that gap is what your services, you are actually paid for that service itself. So what are we going to talk about today will be helping your client make very confident property decision. Let me ask these two different questions. First question is this. Have you come across clients, okay, that ask this question? Hey, Thomas, hey, Jimmy, hey, William, hey, and Jane, Helen, I don't know what to buy. I want to invest in property, but I don't know what to buy. Come across this kind of question? Type 3. If you come across this kind of question, your client don't know exactly what they want. Okay, thank you.
It's pretty common.
Yep.
In fact,
that's
nowadays,
probably a very common
they either
statement,
don't know what they buy or they don't know what's their financial status. They are
Mhm.
not sure whether they can afford something that they are in for.
Yeah, probably they don't know what they're
No idea
in
at all.
for. Okay. Basically is don't know, not that they don't have money, is they don't know exactly what they want. Okay. The next statement is this. The agent, that means you and I, my teammates here, we don't know what to ask specifically also. They don't know what they want, we don't know what to ask. Type in number 4 if you come across a scenario, we also don't know what question to ask them. Okay, I think, yeah, this one, I think all of us deserve a clap because we are honest. Okay,
yeah, very honest.
honest. Everyone honest. Sometimes I come across someone who don't know what he wants. I also don't know what to ask. Okay, then end up we just go and drink coffee. We don't know what to talk about because he don't know what he want to buy. I don't know what I want to sell, and I don't know what I want to ask him also. Okay, so sometimes we are in a dilemma. So therefore, this is where we come in and really want to introduce this tool to all of us to explore, to think about, to use. And I've got Jimmy here who uses the RoboAdvisor here very often. So he will be able to transfer some of his knowledge, his skills, and how he reach out to client using what is already freely available to all of us here at iERA itself. Okay, so let's see the next slide. If you look at the next following slide, this is our introduction of RoboAdvisor. Okay, and what's going to happen next is the interesting part. I'm going to bring Jimmy in very soon. So he will run through, okay, very simply, and put it in a very layman context for all of us to learn how we can use the robo-advisors to ask the right questions. Even though your client don't know what he wants, you know what question to ask. And even if you don't know what question to ask, use the robo-advisor who will help you ask the correct and the relevant question. Then finally, you will see the outcome is what the robo-advisor will do for you finally will be to make recommendations for your clients. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to ask Jimmy to come on now. Okay, I know I've been speaking a lot, but 今天的主角, today the main actor is Jimmy. Today is not about Thomas. So it is about Jimmy. He's going to go through the robo-advisor and what are the common scenarios he come across, and he's going to share with us. Jimmy, over to you.
Okay, thanks,
Take it away.
Thomas. Thanks, my 主角 and the 配角. Okay, so I mean, jokes aside, so I think the key thing is I'm here to share with you RoboAdvisor. So we will skip this slide. So there is 3 things that we, in fact, me and Thomas discussed and we agreed and we prepared 3 scenarios. I mean, 3 typical profiles for you. So what we do is, you know, when you go around meeting your customers every day in and out, you have cold leads, you have warm leads, you have COI, circle of influence. So there's always this certain group of people that is more pretty, you know, common in the day-to-day one. They own a HDB, they probably in their 30s or worst case in their 40s, early 40s. Okay, they earn a monthly income of somewhere between 5 to 15,000. Okay, some has a certain amount of CPF amount in their ordinary account, and they are contributing to the monthly probably between a few hundreds to 1,000 plus, close to 2,005. So the key thing is we created these 3 profile and 3 scenarios for you. Okay, first is a 30 years old couple, okay, who doesn't own any property. Okay, so the monthly combined income is actually we are looking at 10K. So probably we in this scenario we put a husband 5K and a wife 5K. Okay, CPF ordinary account, we're looking at 50K each, and the monthly contribution to their CPF is 1K each. So that's why we put there 2K. And all the 3 scenarios, we put no outstanding debt. There's a reason why we do that. So later I can share with you more why we put. Of course, you can still input if they have a debt. It's very flexible. So the second scenario is a 35-year-old single. So single, possible to buy for investment. So we also put a money income of 9K, ordinary account of 90K, and a monthly CPF contribution of 1.8K per month. And the third scenario here is actually a 40 years old 40 years old couple, monthly income 7.5K each. Okay, ordinary account about 125K each, and a monthly contribution of 1.5K each. Okay, so far clear, right? Okay, I shall move on. Okay, so I'm going to do a demo pretty soon. So this is the first page that when you open our iERA RoboAdvisor, you ask you 3 questions. Which scenario does your customer fall in? Okay, so either they own a property, or they jointly own a HDB flat, or they jointly own a private property. So for this case, for demo purpose, I'm going to use do not own any property, which is the first scenario. So imagine that okay. So I shall now refer you back to, rather than go to the sites, I shall now go to a live demo of through the app.
That's right. We should do a live demo now, because I was just talking to Jimmy and say that we should not just give you slides after slide after slide, right? Then you do. Why not we show our teammates how this is done? How do we use it? How do we use the app to do it? So this is the part whereby Jimmy is going to do a demo, right? And Jimmy, I think they are saying that you need to bring the mic closer to you.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty close. It doesn't look correct, but then no choice.
Yeah, very
okay,
good.
Is it better now, my voice? Is it more sexy now? Yeah. Okay, so if you look at the screen, actually, yeah, okay, very good response. They are hearing me very clearly. Okay, so actually I pre-save you. If in case you're not aware, you can actually pre-save profile in your RoboAdvisor. So the 3 scenario which I shared earlier, I did my homework lah. So actually I pre-save, the 30-year-old couple with combined income of 10K. The second one was a single investor with an income of 9K, and the third one was a 40-year-old couple. So today we are going to go through the first scenario. We don't have short of time. We will not go through every single one.
Yeah, I got a question for Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy, when I look at your iPad, you have got your 30-year-old, you have got your single investor, you got 40-year. This one all can be saved, is it?
Oh, yes, you can pre-save it. In fact, what I did yesterday night, last minute homework, I actually pre-saved all this. So it was freshly done.
So that will be the first tip that we have for all teammates, right? In your RoboAdvisor itself, you don't need to do very live. So what we advise you guys to do is go and save a few typical scenarios. Okay, put it inside your iPad, put it inside your iPhone, all right? So that when you go and see the client, you don't need to kalang kabo, try to key in everything live. Of course, if your client has got the time for you, he's got the specific numbers, because sometimes if you want to see his actual profile, right, he will need to use his SingPass, log into CPF to tell you how much ordinary account he has, isn't it?
Correct, exactly.
Not everyone is willing to share this information at the first meeting. Don't you think so, my teammates?
Yeah.
If they are not willing to review such information to you, then we will need to do a little bit more templated approach. Template approach means is what Jimmy has done right now. He has saved a few profile based on what we shared earlier in terms of slides, right? So there, when you go into that itself, you will see a few things that you commonly come across. All of you have got different customer, right? You can save a template. Like they see the first template that we are going to go through, this particular demo. We're going to go through the 30-year-old couple right at the top here. Okay, so this is the one that we are going to go through with all of you, so that you get a good idea that this is template number 1. Then you can save template number 2, template number 3. Okay, based on the common scenarios that you come across, so that when you meet someone and they are not willing to review a lot of information to you, right, Jimmy? Right? I think we come across clients like that, right? So if they are cold leads, you met them on Facebook, you met them through email blasting and all that, right? Or you're prospecting. Then they may not tell you. You go and ask, hey, first time you go and ask people, hey, hello, what is your CPF? What's your cash savings? Even if first time you meet Thomas, Thomas start asking you this question, you also very gao wei, right?
Very intimidating, basically.
I hope you guys know what is gao wei. Gao wei is Hokkien. Gao wei in English is called gao wei. Okay.
Oh, that's a good one. I learned something new today from Thomas.
All right. So, I mean, people will feel awkward if you are asking for a lot of personal details. So, therefore, a template works. That's what this app is all about. It lets you save template. All right. Then you can move along with your client. And your client will then, when you go through a few templates, you roughly know, right? This guy is in his 40s, his 30s. You roughly know. Then you show him, I did this for a customer A. I did this for customer B. Okay. You tell me anything you need to change. So, I think I take out a lot of airtime. Let Jimmy carry on. He will tell you exactly what he has done. Okay, then in between, if your client want to jump in and say, hey, no, my CPF is not 50,000, my CPF got 65,000. There we go. This is the opening already. Your client start to tell you his personal data, his personal information means the door is open for you already.
Correct.
Okay, Jimmy. Sorry.
So, okay. So today we'll go through the typical 30-year-old couple for this demo purpose. So for this case, I already shared. For your case, you may want to create a new profile. So when you create a new profile, it will bring you to this page. So you can see that for this case, I already pre-key in Mr. Thomas and Mrs. Thomas. But for your case, when the good thing about the way RoboAdvisor is being designed, it open up with all the fields. You can press the reset button, okay? And then all the fields will be naturally there, looking in front of your colleague. So if imagine you show this screen to your colleague and say, can I know what's your nationality, what's your age? He has to tell you because you cannot move. So so they have to tell you probably, what's your fix? Maybe 6,000, maybe 5,000. So as what Thomas said earlier, it's actually very good. It helps you to ask the right questions so that they will automatically figure out the financials capability of your client. Okay, so I think this one is quite obvious. You key in the name, the nationality, which I pre-saved the profile. Okay, for this case, we say combined income of 10K. So I actually put in, monthly fixed income, this figure here of 5,000. Okay, so when you scroll down, you have a choice. If let's say there's a car loan, if they say you want to be more accurate, you're willing to share me your car loan, I can key in. If not, then we will skip. Okay, and you look at the part 4, the liquid asset assessment is where you figure out whether, what is your existing contribution of the CPF OA and the money contribution existing inside the OA account. So this one, you go through husband, you go through wife. For this particular profile, Mr. and Mrs. Thomas. So
hey, I didn't know I'm 30 years old. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. 年轻有为.
年轻.
So for these two cases, we are actually putting a very simple. Both of them are earning 5K. Both of them the same amount of OA, exactly sweet. So when you remember to end editing here, once you're done, okay, the one key thing to highlight, you look at the right top corner, there's this beautiful save button in red. Remember to save your profile, else you'll be gone. Okay, so this thing you got to save. So what I did is I saved. That's why you see, there is a profile earlier for 30-year-old couple. So what this thing, the RoboAdvisor is very beautiful. They actually create plans for both, curate already, pre-create based on your inputs. Plans for Mr. Thomas, plans for Mrs. Thomas. And each plans alone, we have plan A to plan E. Okay, we have 5 beautiful plans curated also for you, depending on whether they are keen to buy a new condo, a new EC, a resale condo, and even to the level of resale HDB, you can have a difference of bank loan and HDB loan. So you know why we create 2 bank loan and HDB loan? Because bank loan is used on TDSR, right? HDB loan, we are based on MSR. So the calculation is slightly different. So in today's demo, I'm going to use plan A to share with you. So if I click on plan A to view, you see, if you have been previously using our calculator, this is actually integrated already. So actually the backend is the same property calculator, the TDSR calculator that's being used inside. So with the input, it already tell you exactly what is your TDSR. And you see our calculator is so updated. Now it's already 55%.
Yeah, I got a question for Jimmy.
Yes.
This
Thomas.
one updated with the latest cooling measure already, you know?
Of course, we are the most efficient company, right? Agency. So I believe the following day is already updated. I tested it myself and saw it. I said, wow, so fast. Until you want to use 60%, you have to go to a special link to still calculate your 60%.
For our teammates' knowledge, on 15th of December, 11:42, they make the announcement. The government make the announcement. Okay, by the next morning, this app is already updated already.
Wow, amazing efficiency,
just
man.
to let you guys know.
Until you want to use 60 also cannot already.
Just to let you guys know what the team behind is doing. Okay, by the next day morning before lunch, I think it's already updated already. Yeah, that was the first thing we asked our tech team to update with the following cooling measures. Hey, sorry to interrupt.
Hey, no problem.
Go ahead.
It's interactive, man. So you can see the loan options all out very clear. So you can see the highest property, the maximum LTV ratio, 75%, 30 years all out. This is still at a very, you notice there's actually a fourth step which I didn't mention. This RoboAdvisor. First step we went through is the profiling, the Q&A. Then second step is actually the financial calculations, which where we are right now. So I'm going to click next, and you bring it to the third step, what RoboAdvisor can give you, which is more details about what is your next purchase. Okay, this is probably, maybe I won't say it's the third step, but still at the 2A lah, 2B lah. Okay, it shows you the breakdown, okay, of your BSD, your cash component, your deposit of 25%, your money, potential money installment, and all this. And this is also it's also integrated as part of the original property calculator lah.
And this is a couple, 30-year-old couple buying a brand new project, right?
Correct.
Buying a brand new project.
Correct,
okay.
Correct.
Okay. So what else does the information from RoboAdvisor tell me?
Okay, and if you scroll further down, the beauty is actually it breaks down, the typical BUC payment schedule.
So this is my dear friends, these are the progress payment table. Okay, where you make your 10 payments to the developer.
Okay, and I noticed today we have a lot of names that we don't see familiar. So I believe there's a lot of new joiners or probably new RES. So probably, although it's not part of today's scope, I want to highlight a few things that I feel that is very, very important since we are already on this table.
Yeah.
So if you allow me to share a little bit, maybe Thomas, when I speak, you move your noise. Okay. The key thing I find that a lot of agents, in fact, my associates even myself, when I knew I look at this table, I make the same mistake. Is that the maximum loan is 75%, right? Somehow you have to pay a deposit of 25. Then but you see, 5 plus 15, 20% only. Then where's the missing 5%? So when they kanchiong in front, couple in front of customer, they may say that the total amount of cash and CPF need to prepare is probably 81,000 plus 244 plus 49. Then blur already. But missing 5%. So I want to share with you, if you look at the foundation, the foundation there is actually very clearly on the payment mode. There is this 5% CPF or cash, 5% loan, which is very important. So it's something not specific to RoboAdvisor, but something we want to highlight. Okay, so you don't forget the missing 5% is actually part of the foundation. But of course, if your BEC is an earlier stage, that foundation is not even kicking, then that 5% need not be prepared yet lah. But it's a matter of time that the 5%, that's where the missing 5%, a lot of agents keep asking me, how come 25% here say 5%?
That's right.
So that's how it works. So a lot of agents, another tip is also how do you remember so many payment schedule? So I found a beautiful way, maybe we scroll now. So I always remember this FFWCWCW. FFWCWC. That's it. So FF is is foundation and framework lah. So WC is wall, ceiling, windows, car park.
Yeah.
So it's 10, 10, 5, 5, 5, 5. The rest TOP 25%, 15% is pretty standard. I don't have to remember. So I just remember TOP 25, 15. The rest 10, 10, 5, 5, 5, 5. So it's FFWC, WC. Just a tip for you lah. That's how I remember. And when I be able to close my eye and talk about it, the client also feel that this agent powers,
and
authority also.
And I think from a customer perspective, when you present a table like this, in terms of the progress payment, then they will see that in year 1, how much money they need to produce and stand by year 2 or even in year 3, right? Then finally, when they take the keys, right? How much money, like 25% to collect the keys and stand by 6 months of maintenance fee, right? Before they collect keys. These are things that you can value add as an agent so that you give people a very early heads up, what are the funds they need to prepare, right? So if they take bank loan, of course, they need to prepare the bank loan, right? If they are using their own cash or their own CPF to pay, they have to stand by all this in year 1, year 2, year 3. Okay, so I think that's a discussion for another day when you buy brand new project. Okay, but today's is just to illustrate to you that it's very comprehensive in terms of your what you present to all your customer.
Okay. Okay, right. So we are already at here, and the next step is a lot of agents stop here. So that's why we wanted this session to make sure you go further than this step of the RoboAdvisor. Actually, a lot of whole liao is right at the back on. A lot of agents probably didn't realize. Okay, so I saw a question. Acronym is FFWCWSC. So it's a question mark there. So probably RS doesn't understand what we meant. So I repeat again, FF is WC is how I remember the stages of the payment schedule. Foundation, framework, wall, ceiling, windows, car park. So I hope you get it. If you don't get it, probably you ping me on my Facebook.
I read the acronym as FF 啊，好像在骂人这样嘞。FFU 啊 ，OK。Then WC is toilet bowl.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's very easy to remember. For me lah, that's how I remember lah. So I'm going to share with you this tip. This is something you don't learn from other places lah. So I cannot forget one because FFWC is really a very big impression cast on my mind already. So I will always remember. So the 10-10-5-5-5-5, that's it.
Cool. Okay.
So as I said, the next one is the powerful thing. We want to make sure every agent will go to the next step. A lot of people has fear going next. So when he goes next, you see this, wow, investment analysis, ganjiong, don't know how to explain. Then, okay, I don't go there already. Because this is where the whole liao is. When people buy, right, be it for own stay or investment, end of the day, 2 years, 5 years down the road, 10 years, the end of the day is still about selling and appreciating and having a little bit of capital gain for the future property also. So this investment analysis step and the portion provided by our RoboAdvisor is actually very useful. Example, okay, when you come here, right, they allow you to key in assumptions. So you ask them questions that, reasonable things that you think that, when you buy this investment property or you buy this property, next time when you rent out, potentially, how much can you rent? So it defaults to 4080. Actually, this figure you can change one. You can change to 4,000. You can change to whatever number. For illustration purpose, we are using 4080 default. So when you key in the 4080, if you change this figure, you notice the yield, the rental yield on the other side also change. So if today I use 5,000.
So it's automatically calculated.
The yield will change to 3.7. Cool. This is very cool. And then if you decided not to do that, you decided to change the yield. I want 5% yield. That means you must rent 6,800. So it's actually a very cool feature, that is being built for us. So I'll default back because the slides that you'll be receiving is based on 4080.
Yeah.
Okay, then you can key in more realistic figures because it takes into account monthly maintenance fee from NCST for in this case. And then you use annual growth rate is something that you think that, I hold the property every year. What kind of growth rate? So normally for my case, I pack it against inflation rate. So typical Singapore inflation, although this year our inflation is crazy lah. I mean, our growth is crazy, but to be reasonably growth is probably about 2.5, 3% to 4%, the kind of growth rate. And if they want to see 4%, you can show them 4%, worst case. So averagely 2.5%, which is, I think, is a good reasonable. We don't want to be over optimistic and neither do we want to be over pessimistic.
Yep.
Okay. And then band interest rate, you can tweak to 1.5, which is more realistic today. And we average for this demo, we average out to 2%. So you can see, and holding years is a wonder. You can say that, okay, you want to sell on TOP, you choose 3 years. Then they only give you 3 years analysis. You want to stay another 7 years, so 3 plus 7 is 10 years. So you choose 10 years. For this case, we do a 10 years full analysis. So what the table below here, it shows you break into 2 very beautiful tables. It shows you the 10 years progress of your property in terms of cash inflow and outflow. Okay. So you notice the rental income, the first 3 years is blank. Why? Because BUC still building under construction. So we do not have rental income. So on the 4th year onwards, you will have rental income. So how that figure come out is on top, you key in how much per month, below will multiply by 12, that will be the figure. Okay, so you notice the first year you will have booking fee, option fee payable, right? That's your cash outflow. Okay, then second year, we assume second year, then the wall completed, the ceiling completed, the windows completed. Then the third year, the car parks completed, TOP, and then finally the 5th year, you got to do a CSE. So it's very sweet, put position for you in like something like an Excel, but it's not really an Excel. So it calculate everything, take into consideration, your commission when they sell, they have to pay the money mortgage, the property, even the property tax scary. And even if you want, if you key in a figure of renovation on top, they get amortized. Wow, let's say everybody know I spend a lot on my renovation, 150,000. Then you see below, the renovation figure actually comes out
That's right.
150,000 and take into consideration. And then it will actually curate for you in a beautiful table to tell you, you need to hold the property until when, then you break even and it becomes positive. Okay. So for this purpose, I shall remove the renovation because the renovation actually kills the
Yep. And for the information of all our teammates who are tuning in right now, we have prepared the slides for you guys, which we will upload to your iERA portal. After this session itself, we will upload it so that you can download it based on whatever Jimmy has demonstrated to you earlier, giving you the illustration and numbers. Then you can follow step by step later on when you play around, because now we are just talking and doing a demo, right? So it may be a bit too much information for you guys to download at one go. So, but we have prepared the slides for you guys so that you can and follow the steps to get in again.
We have a question from Sean. Sorry, can you show how to get to this page?
Okay.
Okay. For this purpose, I probably have to back lah.
Yeah, go back and show him how we get in again.
Remember, this is the...
Maybe one more step.
Jimmy,
let's go back one more step and show them right at the start.
Okay.
So this is your front page, right? Sean, I'm sure you can see this, right? Sean, can see this or not, Sean?
Okay, so I presume he can.
Okay.
Okay, so what I did is, for this customer, I said they do not own any property. They are first-time buyer. Okay, I click on this one. So I go into, key in whatever, For this case, I key in all the details, which I already pre-keyed for this case. So I'm entering from Save Plan. Okay, but for your case, first time keying, you have to click on the do not own any property. So
assuming you key in everything, Sean is keying in everything,
Then you go to plans for both for this demo purpose. Okay.
Here. Okay, this one, plans for both.
And then I choose for demo purpose, I assume that Mr. and Mrs. Thomas is going to buy a new condo BUC. Okay, so I choose plan A. Then
that's right. Sean is asking we have to key in everything and save. Of course. Yes,
of course, the very first time painful. Yes, but not a lot of things to key in. It's less than a 5-minute job. In fact, I did it yesterday night. It's very easy. Because the fields already asking you the question.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I can just highlight to Sean how he does this. How Jimmy came is, you remember last night he pre-saved everything. So if you were to go out, you will see right below here, there is save plan. If you have already pre-saved everything as a template, you will go to your save plan and you pull this out already.
When I click on save plan, this is what you see. I will see 3 pre-save plans. For this case,
how Jimmy got to this page earlier.
But if you did not have any pre-save plan, you will click on I do not own any property. Then
this one
will start. Then remember on the top right, you got to click the save. Else you will not have a pre-save plan.
Yeah.
Got it? Okay, good. I like very interactive. So give me a minute. I will go through this.
Sean has gotten it.
Yeah. At least and editing. So I'm going to fast forward this.
Yep, we have done
plans
this.
for both. I will view plan A. I will click next, back to, and then next again. We've gone through this, right? Next again to the investment mode, investment analysis. So just now I
Sean is trying to get to investment.
Yeah.
Maybe you go back one step, show Sean how do you get to investment.
Okay, so I choose plans for both.
Yeah.
I click plan A.
Okay, then we choose this, right?
New condo, yes, go in.
Once
then you scroll down, click on the next. You want to circle the next?
Yeah, Sean?
Yes. Click on the next, then you go to payment schedule, right? Then you go all the way down, you click on the next again.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, then you will finally reach here, investment analysis, which is the step 3 of the RoboAdvisor.
So Sean, you got to click next and next.
Yeah, scroll down and click next. Okay. So when I was here earlier, I was talking about cash. It shows you the cash outflow. And it's very clear that, if you look at the final table here, which we call the investment analysis table, profit and loss, ROI and ROE. Before I explain what is ROI and ROE, it clearly showed that negative for the first 3 years. Why? Why negative for the first 3 years? It's very simple, because when you sell within first 3 years, you have this thing called SSD. Okay, SSD eats into your profit. Okay,
seller stamp duty.
Correct. And then the growth, just now we put 2.5%. It's not enough to cover whatever you pay. So probably in fact, that's the reason why you're getting negative. So you see, 4th year, we are getting positive figures already, 5%. So, okay, a lot of customers use ROI. So I personally don't use ROI because the figure will show smaller than ROE. So it's not that we're trying to, cheat our customer or then lead them the wrong way. No, actually ROE is the correct thing that you should be sharing with your customer. Okay, so
why
maybe
is that so? Why ROE is more important than
if you
ROI?
scroll down, there's an explanation below. ROI of the property, maybe you help me circle and point them to the ROI.
Let me just clear all this first so that we don't distract everybody. Yep.
So what is ROI? The definition is
what do you want to circle?
This ROI now, the definition below.
Yeah.
Okay, what is ROI? Actually, ROI is actually capital gain divided by purchase price. Okay, what it means is today you gain $50,000 and your purchase price is 1.6 million. So it's 50,000 divided by 1.6 million. But did you really fork out 1.6 million? The answer is no. Because 1.6 million, a big portion, 75%, is actually loan. So this is not in my opinion, I don't share this with customers because it's not an accurate measurement of your return of investment. Okay, so I rather use ROE, which the formula says that is capital gain divided by capital used. So this capital use is not 1.7 million, 1.6 million. In this case, you only pay 5% cash, you only pay 20% CPF, you only pay 4% BSD, correct? You only pay legal fee, you only pay whatever admin fee. So this is much, much lesser than 1.6 million. Probably about 30% around there. Because 25% plus 5%, 有的没有的那些,
Yep.
So 30%, 1.6 million is more normally about probably 50K.
Yeah.
Probably,
no,
500K, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, 500K. So actually, you see, it's a big jump, So now you're looking at about 10% already. So it actually is more appealing when you share your customer ROE. So you can see on the 4th year ROI for this particular scenario is 5%, whereas the ROE is 15.2. When you talk about 15.2, it's actually your actual return because you only invested 50K or invested 500K and then you get back 50K. So the ROE is a lot higher than ROI. So this is something what we do. Okay. So if you see below the investment analysis table, we still have a risk assessment table. That one is very useful because remember earlier in the profile, you key in the OA, you key in the monthly contribution, right? So this table actually show you with that kind of, if the job is, you never lose job throughout the whole 10 years, what is the scenario where you can still fund your installment based on your CPF availability? So it will show us the best case. And if you move our cursor to the question mark there, actually it's explain what's the difference between best case, worst case, and the nightmare case. Okay, so best case is actually you're still, you're not being retrenched, all this. You can still survive the installment without forking out cash for another like 30.6 months. Okay,
right.
And the worst case is you lose your job, but you have no debt. Something like that. And then nightmare case is you lose your job and you still have debt and you still within 3 DSR framework, then how? For this case, we don't have debt, so the nightmare and the worst is the same. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, and
Jimmy, I think they have a question for you.
Oh, take a drink first.
Ray has a question for everyone and for Jimmy especially. Please advise how to convince our customer to accept ROE instead of ROI.
Okay. Actually, it's very simple. Do you want to tell people, okay, today I spent $10. $10 is the actual amount I spent. So I want to measure how much I get out of the money I spent, right? $10, I get back $2. So my ROE is actually based on the money I come out. Okay, but if you measure ROI, my property is not $10. My property is $100. But did I really spend $100 from day one? No, I didn't. So you got to explain to your customer, actually, to measure your returns is what you fork out against what you gain after 10 years. You actually didn't fork out the full 1.6 million at all. So that is already a very convincing one. So maybe I'm not sure why you find it difficult to convince. Is probably you do not understand what's the difference between ROI and ROE. Okay, so it's very logical. Is your return is actually measured on how much you pay out, invested already. That means physical cash outflow already, not imaginary cash or future cash. Yeah. So that I hope I answer your questions, Ray.
Mm.
Okay,
And
we have another question.
Olin is adding on. Olin is saying that, but they also use their money to pay loan and installments. So this is also equity
Good
used.
one, good one. I was waiting for people to asking this question. So she's right. She's right. Olin, she's right. Actually, as you are going on, you actually invested. So that's why our table behind is a lot of calculation and formulas. Even I also don't know how the figures were being reached, but we trusted that this has been stress tested. And if there's an error already long ago, we find it out. So I believe Thomas comment around the ROE actually take into consideration or the bank loan really, the ROE.
Yeah.
Yeah. It means what Olin was saying, as we progress off, the installment is also outflow already.
That's right.
Which is correct because if you look at the table on top, they actually take into consideration the annual, if you go up, there's a row say that accumulated cash outflow. You see the cash actually grows years on year. So you take into consideration the installment really. So don't worry, Alin. I hope I answer your question.
What this table does is very simply, if you are trying to use this table without understanding too much of it, that could be very dangerous, like what's happening with Ray and Olin. Okay, what I suggest is you immediately go, no, I'm not saying keep quiet. What you immediately should be focused on is this, okay? And if your customer have got question to say, hey, how you calculate all these, how do you get this and all these numbers, my suggestion is this, okay? This is my suggestion. If you are not confident in answering this and you answer it, you may give wrong information and end up being misrepresenting. My suggestion is this, as your COO, you bring a banker along, okay? You tell them this is a job for the bankers. What this basically does is the robot do auto calculation for you, but the best person to advise you and is the banker when it comes to financial numbers. Okay. Similarly, it's the same thing. When the customer start to ask you the contract term, this clause number 1.1.A, this clause says this, if I don't do this, will I get sued or not? That is a question to be answered by the lawyers, not the agent. Our job is to bring buyers and seller and marry them. Yeah. Our job is to bring the landlord and the tenant, marry them. Our job is not to be the lawyer, to be the banker, okay, and everything into one body. It's not. That's not our job. Let's be very clear about what we are supposed to do, what we are not supposed to do. That's the reason why when you go to your RES course, they will tell you at any point in time you're not sure, please refer to the necessary professionals to provide all the necessary information. I hope this one helps our teammate to see where our boundaries are and not to really cross it. Otherwise, we may get into trouble without knowing it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point by Thomas. Okay, so I think we addressed most of the questions, and the most final wonderful part is this thing. When you scroll down, there's this word called recommendation.
Yes, this is the important one.
There's a lot of agents also skip one because they see the investment analysis kanchong, don't want to go there, cannot question, So they also miss out the recommendation. So for this scenario, it's buy new condo, right? So when you click on recommendation, that's where the wonder starts. Okay, you see the list of new launches. Imagine you go iERA Project Pro, you go and find the budget 3-bedroom. You find until, the cow come home because you will get like 100 over or now maybe the new launch lesser and lesser. At least you will get 30. Then how? So we also noticed this problem initially, the first few versions. That's why it came out with the filter. You see there's a filter here, show filter on top. Okay, so when you first reach this page, right, all the maximum number of recommendations based on the purchase price will come out. Then you say, 1.6 million can buy 1 bedder, 1.6 million also can buy 4 bedder. So how? Then filter.
Let's go find the filter. Yes.
Freehold, price, area, even if you see here, bedrooms. So if your buyer is a couple with 2 kids, or minimum 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, then I will do that. So if they don't mind freehold or 99 or they don't mind any district, Just get me something, Jimmy. Get me something.
1.6, maybe not much choices.
You see, just now got 7 pages. Now drop down to 2 pages only. 1, 2.
Cool.
So easier, right? You don't feel like, you are karanguni, everything also sell. Okay, so at least you know A. Then this is visual. The visual part come in. Customer come here very excited. Where is Zenya? Where is Commodore? Where is Water Garden? Then you at least by showing this a bit, it actually ups your authority, and you also can understand. Water Garden, Canberra. No, I'm not gonna say in Canberra. Normanton Park can leh. You know what I mean? At least it automatically will tell you where is their preference in unknowingly one. This kind of thing unknowingly.
This is called shortlisting.
Yeah,
right?
shortlisting.
Your client, like I said, your client started off, don't know what he wants. Then after doing assessment through the RoboAdvisor, keying all his necessary information, doing a little bit of recommendations, now the recommendation come out, he will start to then do his own mental filtering. He say, wow, Geylang District 14, 我不要, Geylang 不要, okay? Because got 3 daughters. Like Thomas, you present Geylang property to him, because got 3 daughters, or 3 teenagers, 不可以. Okay, that's something I may not want, right? That's a personal choice. Then at least now you know he don't want Geylang. Right? Then you start filtering further. Oh, you don't want Geylang. How about Kranji? Kranji too far. Okay, then what you want? Toa Payoh. Toa Payoh sibei kui leh, 2 million. You know, that kind of thing. Then you can have a conversation. It's really to help you create conversation with your clients. And this will help you filter and really zoom into what your clients really want. Okay, this session is all about telling you how to make use of this tool, not just to tell you what the tool can do, what the tools can bring to the table when you are sitting down with the customer. Right in front of you, you can do filtering, you can do recommendation, and finally, you can potentially shortlist a few projects, and then you can go viewing already.
Correct. Correct.
It's just as simple, as simple as that.
The purpose of RoboAdvisor is it's actually rather than, you go property calculator to do the profiling and the financial calculation. Then after that, you take out a piece of paper and then do the investment analysis. Then the worst part is you open iERA Pro to find project, not very professional. So this is a one-stop, one straight through all the way from step 1 to step 4. Bao ka liao, sui sui. Okay, but of course, there's this much we could do. We can only recommend you BUC. I cannot come to this stage and recommend the whole resale listing in the whole Singapore. I think the whole app will explode. So it's virtually not possible at this point in time, today's technology. Yeah.
Okay.
So yes. So
I hope this session has been fruitful for all of you. Let us go back to the PowerPoint slides. All right. Where this is the step-by-step guide we have prepared for you. We are not going to go through the step-by-step because this one, what Jimmy has done earlier, we've already shown you all this, okay, including the explanation of the breakdown of the progress payment, okay, the screenshots and all these are exactly what Jimmy has demonstrated. We have already captured this information and all this will be uploaded onto your iERA portal. Yeah, to Angela, we only have time because we wanted to keep this short and sharp within the hour to share with you what BUC is all about. Resale listing, that is the plan that is inside the recommendation as well. You click the different plan, they will bring you to different
imagine
segments.
Earlier, I can show you there's plan A, plan B, plan C, all the way to plan E, right? There's about 5 plans inside. So one of the plan is actually a resale. It can be a resale condo, can be a resale HDB via bank loan, via HDB, all have.
Yep.
I suggest you go and create a profile and go and click and see the differences in the tabulations and the assessment.
Cool. I think let's take the question from Song Lim. He wants us to go back and show you how to come to the condo shortlist page before we wrap up with the tips from Jimmy.
Okay.
Let's go back to the
Allow
app.
me to.
Yeah, let's go back to the app.
Okay.
How did we get here? Okay, let's go back one step, then see the plans for both.
Okay, you view plan A for this case, right? Buy new condo. Remember, you scroll down, you must always scroll down at every step to click on the next button because it's actually curated in a sequential manner. Okay, so for this case, you go to investment analysis all the way down, right? You see this word recommendation here? Who's the person that asked? Song Lim, is it? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's where I reached the recommendation page where there's a lot of condos. Condo shortlist page. I hope that's the question you're asking.
Yep.
Okay.
Kian Singh is asking, is there an age limit for buyer in order for RoboAdvisor to work? The minimum age to own a property in Singapore, everybody knows, right? 21 years old. So what your buyer's age are, you key in accordingly. So if the husband is 30, the wife is 28, you key in accordingly. Then this app itself, the beauty of it is you don't need to do the income weighted average age on your own.
Yes.
The app will calculate for you the income weighted average age.
Basically, yeah, you don't have to worry about the back end, chim calculation. Just trust the app, trust iERA.
All right, let's go back to the final slide and we are going to wrap up after
okay,
this.
I'm going to wrap up. In fact, I have more tips that was documented here. So, in fact, I want to share with you is always create some demo templates and pre-save them. Okay, why? Okay, if you can't you're new RES, you don't know what to do, you don't know what kind of, you say, Jimmy, it's not possible. How do I know the customer, what kind of profile, what kind of financial status? Don't worry. So far, I have not hit the limits of profile creation yet. I actually don't know what's the limit, Frank. If there isn't, there is a limit, I'm not sure. Okay, but you can create a lot of profile. Like for example, what's so typical? You can create multiple 5K or 5K, 10K, 15K, 20K standby. Okay, with car loan, no car loan, you just create. Every night you create 3 profiles. Wasn't often, right? So in 1 week you have 15 profile already, or you garang one shot create 15 profile. So these are the things that you bring along, your bullets that you can see with your customer. That's the first tip, because we don't want you to current couple in front and start creating keying. Then what's the name typo? Your keystrokes not very tight. That doesn't look good in front of customer. So you have a profile straight away. You go in there and always the tip that I created this 3 pages, I leave the depth blank. Because I purposely want. Because if I key in the debt, right, then it's not very nice about that. So I will leave it blank. So I will ask them, hey, do you have a car loan? Then they will actually tell me, yeah, I have a car loan. They will ask you, hey, why need no car loan? Because it actually affects your TDS. So these are the things that, you will find out on the spot. So at least you don't need to find out every single field, but only the debt portion is much easier. Okay, and the second tip was, which I think we stressed earlier, was always impress them the difference between ROI and ROE. Okay, always try to advance to step 3, whereby it calculates the ROI, because a lot of people buy house is for immediate gratification. Oh, I got a house to stay, I have already, but they don't look at the future. So when you plan investment, even if you for own stay, somehow in the near future, 10 years, 20, 15 years later, you will still sell one. So at least you know that you already, for today, you know roughly what's your exit already, whether it's worth buying or not. Correct or not? So what kind of gain you're projecting?
Yep. There was a question by Joseph in the chat group, not just chat group, the Q&A section. He said, can we expect a Chinese version of the RoboAdvisor?
I can't answer this.
现在 no plans, Joseph. Now no plans. Work on it. Okay, we'll take your feedback and see whether that it's even a possibility. If there's strong demand for it, obviously we can think about it. But at this present moment of time, I'll be absolutely honest with you, we do not have plans for it. Yep. I hope this answered the. All right, I cannot technically answer Joseph's request. All right, there's another question by Emily. The filter page there, when I put in max price, it does not take. I think, Emily, it takes time to get used to the app itself. Okay, today is just an introduction to show our teammates how you can expose yourself, play around with it. Okay, if you have any technical issues, you can't get around it and all that, please come by our iERA office. We have got our ambassadors around. Our recep are actually trained to show you all these tech tools.
Wow.
And if you cannot,
something
you look for Ida, and she's actually trained to show you all these tech tools. If you are not comfortable with it, if you don't know how to use it, she's actually gone through the training, right, to show you how it is used, how it is done, and all that. Okay. With that, I thank Jimmy for joining us. Okay. There's one more question coming in. Hey, you all really like ask question a lot. Okay. Lynette is asking, when you put the rental cost, where did it affect? You will be appearing inside the table below.
Cash outflow.
When you see a lot of
it's under cash outflow. That's the answer, Lynette.
Yes.
And you eventually affect your ROE and I.
Yeah. Okay, Joseph, we have already answered your question. Could we expect a Chinese version? Joseph, 我已经解释了我们会 take into consideration， 不一定会有，不过我们会收集你的 feedback， What do you think about it?
Meantime, 我就是那个 Chinese version of RoboAdvisor. That's what we.
Okay. All right. With that, thank you so much for joining us for this digital talk. Do look out for more digital talk. This is Thomas. I will be inviting more and more interesting topics for you guys to understand all our digital tools out there. Okay, and I hope you guys can encourage all our teammates, your team members. Okay, your upline, downlines, and your waistline. All of you should join us. Okay, and for our next tech talk. And I hope that with this will help you to do two things: generate leads for yourself, generate conversation between you and your prospective clients. Whether they are cold leads, warm leads, circle of influence, it's very easy for you to use the RoboAdvisor, okay, to create profiles and start talking to your customer. So just please go out and use it. We have created a tool, and if you don't use it, then it becomes white elephant, right? So all of you should go out and make use of these tools that are available freely for you to use to up your skill set, to up your professionalism when you are sitting down with your customer. With that, this is Thomas and Jimmy signing off.
Signing off. Okay, remember, promise me tonight before you sleep, create 3 profiles.
All right. Have a good day, everyone.